spend a whole day with you.
Hey everybody, it's Tiana Marshe, and I am here inviting you into my home office where all the magic happens, where everything is created, and as you can see, it is a mess. So today we're going to be focusing on cleaning out our office, and we can go ahead and get started. So if you want to come on in and see the mess that is, come on in. As I mentioned, this is where it all goes down, where I do my planning and I do reading. As you can see, I have a ton of books. There's so many things, and that's why it's so important today to get things cleaned out. But as I'm cleaning out in the physical sense, I really wanted to tap into how we need to be mindful of cleaning out our office internally. Our office, we know great ideas start in our mind, so if that's cluttered, then ideally our ideas and our dreams and our visions are cluttered as well. But even more than that, who we are represents or is a key component to what we create and what we envision. So if our insides, our hearts, our soul, our spirits are not cleaned out, we've got an issue. So today I really wanted to talk about that. And what I really wanted to start on as I'm moving around, pardon me, but as I'm moving around, I really wanted to focus in on the weight and managing weight. Not in the sense of weightlifting, or not in the sense of physical weightlifting, I'll say that, but more in the sense of the weights that we carry on, or that are handed to us through life situations that we go through. Many of you may or may not know my story, but for those of you who don't, I actually grew up in foster care for a few years, from the time I was 2 to the time I was 7, and during that time I was raped, I was molested, as well as beaten. And I didn't realize it at the time. I actually thought during that time that it was a normal thing. You get up, you go to school, you play, you come home, put your play clothes on, go outside, and then somebody violates you. And that, for a long time, that was my reality. So I didn't know that there was anything that was wrong with it. But anyhow, just growing up and kind of learning that wasn't okay. After it all happened and I started to really focus in on how certain things that I had been through started to affect me, I realized that I was carrying a lot of weight from that. And by weight, I mean I was carrying poor body image, I was carrying insecurity, low self-esteem, victim mentality, and we all have been a victim of something. But I was carrying a lot of that. The main goal, or excuse me, the main weight for me was unforgiveness. I had already been broken down through many circumstances, growing up as an adolescent, just going through different things in life, and I'll talk more about that at a later time. But I didn't want to be seen as that person. And it's one thing to not be held accountable because you don't know, but once you know, now you're responsible for why you're like that. And that's where that victim mentality, well, this happened to me and he did this or she did this or they said that, and that wasn't who I wanted to be anymore. So I really took some time to study what unforgiveness was. I studied the effects, what causes it, mental effects that it could have, emotional, spiritual, and even physical effects that it can have. You lay awake at night angry at somebody else who probably don't even remember who you are, who don't even remember what they did to you. They're living their life, they're at peace, but yet you're still in this captivity of unforgiveness. You're a prisoner in your own life, in your own little world, because nobody else knows what's going on, not even the person that you're mad at. They are living their life, they're getting sleep at night, they're meeting loved ones and falling in love and getting money, whatever it is that they're doing that's keeping you from doing it, they're doing it. But that unforgiveness was the thing for me, and it was a heavy weight, and with that attracts more weight and more weight and more weight. And I just knew that I was tired of being heavy. I knew that I was carrying all this weight and I wasn't becoming stronger. And I know I don't do a lot of weightlifting, but I know this much: when you lift weights appropriately and you're able to manage those weights, you control how much you're carrying at any given moment. You control that. But when you're in a situation where there's weights on you and you're not in control of it, then they control you. And by that I mean, when you don't control your unforgiveness, when you don't control your low self-esteem and your bitterness and your anger and whatever it is that you're feeling, those are things that control you. Who wants to be controlled by those things? That I was okay. I didn't know I was insecure until somebody else told me. I didn't know that I was angry and bitter until somebody else told me, because they had to see that. And they had to show that to me. It's almost like putting a mirror up to me, and we can control what we want to see. If we're controlling the mirror, we can control the angles and how we want to do it, kind of like taking a selfie. We control what angle we want to use and what we want to highlight to others for others to see. But when somebody else can put a mirror up to you, more often than not, they're highlighting what you haven't yet seen or what you refuse to see. And somebody saw more in me than I saw in myself, and they were willing to show that to me, and it came from a place of love. So eventually I was able. What I'm hoping that this session of cleaning out your office, or cleaning out my office, cleaning out our office, will do is to kind of help you see or be able to identify the weights that you may be carrying, and then eventually showing you and teaching you helpful and healthy techniques for you to be able to manage the weight and see how everything that you may have been through, good or bad, whatever it may have been, it truly will be all worth the wait. So I hope you enjoyed it today.